Good morning. Today we're going to be doing some HIIT work. So everything that we're doing in this circuit group is going to be done back to back once we're done our warm up here. So this first one here, our squats reach, is our warm up. We're going to reach down and pull ourselves down in the squat and try to build our upper back and try to reach through our upper back, opening our shoulders, pulling our shoulder back and down, working through all of our ranges here, trying to find that good foot rooting position, find that good bracing position. Just try to work the hips open, work the shoulders open before we do some more of our dynamic action. So you're going to see here, our first movement we're going to start with is going to be number 1 in the circuit. This is our beast crawl. So you're going to set up everything nice and under your shoulders, under your knees. Now this is slowed down a little bit here, so I have time to talk, but we're going to try to push and walk and push and walk. Tiny little steps here. Tiny little steps, and keep your torso braced the whole time. Our next one, we're going to transfer into our squat to march. Now you see this plane change here is not the easiest thing in the world. We're going to pull ourselves down into our position and then step and pause for a second. We're going to pull ourselves into position and then we're going to step and pause ourselves in the march position for a second. Now I want you to actively keep trying to find this positioning under your feet, and you're going to notice the accumulating work as we start working through these patterns here. It starts a little more simple, it gets our heart rate up a little bit, and then it gets us thinking, I need to be really focused on my movement patterns as I get tired. So our next one that we're going to move into here is going to be our bridger with our knee drive. Now you've seen this one a couple places so far. We're locking in the glute, we're extending, we're trying to hold onto that glute right near the tailbone and that high adductor section here. And we're trying to use our oblique to pull our knee up and to keep pulling our rib cage down. Now, this is a hard position to hold. You're going to notice your glute's going to want to shut off as soon as that oblique fires, and we want to change that. We want to be able to keep everything going at the same rate here. So our next one we're going to be moving here into is our side plank variation with our glute open and close. So here we're holding our position, shoulder back and down, hips locked forward, ribs nice and locked in, trying to make as much of a 90-degree knee as possible here. It's going to depend on your mobility range and your functionality range here. Now, all we're trying to do is we're just trying to open our knees as wide away from our body as we can here and try to squeeze our glutes and then squeeze our adductors to close again. Our next one here, we're going to be working a little bit open and close here as well. So we're going to hold about our 3/4 hollow body here. We're going to hold our ab L, and we're going to think open and close. We're going to think glutes, adductors, obliques, glutes, adductors, obliques. We're working all around the hip here, trying to control both of our ranges, trying to get a little further each time we squeeze. We're doing some active mobility with our abs here as well. Our next one that we're going to be transferring into here, and I believe our final one, is going to be our push-up position to cross-body reach. So we're going to try to protract and reach to the opposite toe, and protract and reach to the opposite toe, and try to maintain your elbow positioning and try to flex your abs as you reach towards the toe. So this one here is what we want to really focus on, and trying to keep our abs tight to keep ourselves out of our back, and it's also going to open our hamstrings up a little bit. Everything here, so this will be our last movement, and then you're going to go right back to your beast crawl and you're going to start right over again. All right, guys, give it a try and let me see how it feels.